People don't talk enough about light pollution. Most people in their entire life will never see a night sky without light pollution. But for those who do, they know it is one of nature's beauty. Some people don't know that the night sky can even look so good. We aren't doing enough against light pollution. We need to bring back the night sky. I grew up in a very small town and would lay in my yard at night and look at constellations. I moved to a big city and realized how lucky I was before. Makes me sad sometimes that I can't watch the stars anymore. We have some old family farmland in Bumfuk, Missouri, 15 minutes from the nearest town, of less than 100 people. 1.5 hours from the Walmart. Not a neighbor for like 3 miles. It's breathtaking even compared to being in a relatively small town. Actually seeing the Milky Way is something a lot of people don't experience. And that's not even as good as it can get. There's places in Antarctica and the outback that have basically no light pollution within 100 miles, so you get to see the Milky Way in all its glory. Definitely on my bucket list. For 2 weeks after Hurricane Katrina hit, lights were out for at least 50 miles in every direction from my house and sky was completely clear. The night sky was amazing and the Milky Way was perfectly clear. Katrina sucks, but that was one silver lining. I know exactly what you mean. I have friends who grew up in NYC, and they're always talking about how many stars there are, how bright the night sky is. Meanwhile, I can't even pick out half the constellations I can see when I go back home to visit my parents. I had one friend tell me she had never seen the Big Dipper before and she was 23 and that blew my mind. I lived in the suburbs my whole life and the first time I saw the night sky in its raw form I genuinely thought there were aliens because the random flashes of light that dart across the sky. I agree. I have the perk of living out in the country about 15 miles from the nearest town. We get maybe one car a night that drives down our little country road. You can't beat a quiet starlit night. No noise or light pollution. I noticed the sky was more clear and beautiful during lockdown restrictions. Yeah, the stars are absolutely amazing, but if I couldn't imagine driving 30 minutes to the grocery store on a regular basis like when I go to the beach or something. Not sure if every rural place is like that, though. Trade-offs for sure. You have listed poor reasons for people to care about light pollution. Most of society is not going to give up light to see the stars. The real issue of light pollution is that it impacts nocturnal animals. Just think how many millions of insects die of starvation bumping into outdoor lights. It's not even that he's using pollution correctly. Light pollution is the professional term that professional astronomers use to describe the phenomenon. Those morons don't get to choose whether Op is using pollution correctly or not when he's using light pollution 100% correctly. Light pollution sucks. I cherish those couple stars I see when I look out the window from my bed. Historically, watching the stars has been deeply entwined with most of the world's religions, including the major ones of today. It's no coincidence that Jesus was said to be born under a brilliant star, right on the day that our sun is reborn from its precessional pause during the winter solstice. The ancient Greeks and Romans assigned identities to the stars and planets, and created stories that corresponded to their behavior and characteristics. It has also been believed that celestial happenings were the cause of many events on Earth, including diseases like the flu, or influenza, named for the malicious influence of the planets that was believed to be its cause. All told, we are only the first or maybe second generation of humans, ever, that does not have celestial observation as one of the absolute cornerstones of our thought, mysticism and connection to the deepest aspects of being. I agree that we may not quite appreciate just how much we have lost in that transition. Also, light pollution has a huge impact on both animal and human health. There are increased cancer rates in people, baby sea turtles can't make it to the ocean, and birds fly into buildings, trees, etc. as they normally use stars to navigate.